know what I know. We, she's in a boot. I mean, it's everything we're doing right now is precautionary. We're guardedly optimistic that we'll have her back as quick as possible.
Do you think it is an ankle or an Achilles or what's
No, it's not her Achilles.
Okay.
She just landed, took a hard landing on a pretty stiff floor, and I think it shocked her and gave her a little bit of a gave her a scare. And it's there's something wrong, but we feel like she'll bounce back.
Is that a different? I know you guys have the spring floor here, but is that a different?
Everyone is different. The field's different. The amount of resistance that it can accept. I mean, every floor is a little bit different. And she even with the spot, she took a pretty solid landing. I mean, it was a very controlled landing, and something wasn't exactly right. So we'll see. We'll know more today, but I'm optimistic.
What are your thoughts just on losing her all last season and then such high hopes of her coming back and then going down this early?
Well, I think she's as positive a person as you could possibly be, and she takes things happen for a reason. And when you're given a lemon, we make lemonade. So somebody else is going to have to rise and step up and fill some shoes if she's out of the lineup for a while.
Speaking of, Bailey was able to do that on Friday.
Well, Bailey that's high school, senior in high school, and she came into a situation. She vaulted in the warm up, did really, really well. She and McKenna both did 10-0 vaults that we want to get back and get in the lineup to give us a little bit higher scoring potential, but didn't use them because we didn't feel like we needed to. We felt like we would be good using the same lineup we did before, and. But Bailey did really well, and she warmed up well. And I told her to be ready to go on the floor. Sarah Edwards wasn't having a great warm-up, and then I decided to go with Sarah Edwards, so I told her no, that she wasn't going to do floor this week. And then at the last minute, I had to look at her and say, Bailey, you got to go, because that was on me. I didn't have anybody else ready. I would not have wanted to use Bailey on floor. My choice would have been someone else, but I had not warmed up anybody else, so that was on me. So. Learning, always learning.
Who might be candidates to take McKenna's place?
I would hopefully be able to rely on Christina Desiderio or Juliana, two people that have consistently been in the lineup. Unfortunately, Ashlyn Kirby, we think she's going to have her knee scope. So that she was in our lineup every week almost every meet last year. So. Not having her does really kind of whack away at our depth in 3 events.
What's the time frame for her? Is that, I don't know how long?
Well, if it's not bad, technically she could be doing a little bit in 3 weeks. So we'll see. If it's not bad, then that's what we're looking at. She tends to swell a lot as an individual. Some kids don't. She swells a lot, and it takes her a while to recover. So, based on what usually happens with her, if it takes somebody 3 weeks, it may take her 5.
What's kind of the focus? I mean, coming off a loss this week, as you guys prepare for, I guess, a great environment. You're going to be back at home, thank goodness. And
yeah, coming back at home in a pressure situation, I think will give the kids a sense of urgency to prepare well. And, at least that's what we're planning our workouts around is high motivated preparation and looking forward to a packed house and a great competition.
So have you guys changed any of the way you guys are practicing this week, or are you
No.
going to keep it the same?
We're going to keep it the same. We've got some kids that we're still trying, kids that were out for a period of time in the fall that we're trying to come along and bring along to have ready middle or later in the season. And, that can't change. We've got to continue that tempo with those kids. And then just rely on the kids that have been there for us all last year and this year too.
what do you think kind of has been the problem with the little slower starts you guys kind of had? I mean,
We had problems last year. Things that they didn't recover from, things that, for one reason or another, we're still trying to bring them along, get them ready as the season progresses. And when that happens, you got to shift gears and do a little bit more individualized training, and not so much about the team, but about what that individual needs to be ready in 2 weeks or 3 weeks.
is that something that's special for this team, or is that something you have?
I think it's kind of a unique situation that we find ourselves with right now with this team, something we hadn't had to deal with much in the last 3 or 4 years. But these things happen in cycles, and you just have to pull it through the knothole and go with what you got.
Does it give you more confidence to know that you kind of know what the issue is and you just have to fix it, whereas like if you really didn't know it was happening? or what
Um,
the issue was?
No, if I didn't know what the issue was, that'd be a pretty sad state of affairs. But I'm well aware of what the situation is, and we've just got to be patient with it and rely on the kids that we know are 100% ready to compete. We had a great meet on bars this week. I felt like our vaulting improved. Losing McKenna on floor, we weren't prepared for that. We can train for that this week if in fact she's not ready. And then balance beam, I think the kids internalized the pressure, internalized what they had to do instead of stepping out there and just competing beam, because we had every opportunity to win that beam, win that meet with a great beam performance, and we didn't. So, we'll use that as a bar, and then, try to move forward from there.
Sarah talked about how you tell them, you don't have to peak right now. Don't worry about peaking right now. Just take us through your mindset of what you tell them and, where you would like to see them peak down the road.
Well, you need to be your best in the end, and we've managed to do that over the last 5 or 6 years. And being healthy and being 100% what you want to be down the road isn't defined by what you are right now. And in gymnastics, if somebody's hurt, you could have a hangnail, and they're not going to be able to work bars. You could have a sprained toe, and they're not going to be able to tumble. Whereas you could tape it up and blow and go in a lot of sports, but in this sport, we can't do that. And we know it as a coaching staff, and of course it frustrates us because we want everybody to give us 100% all the time, and sometimes they just can't. So we just have to deal, with we have to make lemonade, because right now we don't have everything we need to be 100%, but we don't need to be 100% right now.
Obviously, putting Bailey in on Friday obviously wasn't the plan, but can we expect to see more of her in the coming weeks?
I would hope so. She's very, very, very strong, and we anticipate her helping us on the power events. She's a backup on bars and does a nice bar routine, but we really feel like where she's going to help us the most when we get her better prepared is going to be vaulting and floor exercise.
You mentioned she's supposed to be in high school. She graduated early.
She graduated a year early, a semester early, and came in early. So yeah, she should be thinking about going to high school prom instead of, preparing herself for one of the most rigorous gymnastics schedules in the country.
How are her nerves? A little nervous on Friday, Sarah said?
She really has nerves of steel. She really actually competes at a higher level than she usually trains. But I really saw some deer in a headlight. I really saw, like, are you kidding right now? And I think it was the up and down emotion of, I'm probably going to put you in. No, I'm not. Well, I am. So, it was that yo-yo effect, and it just really, I think, got to her.
Dee Dee, the regular season championship is something that you
covet.
You covet and push
Yeah.
for. And so obviously you said you want to build to a peak, but how important is this meet? I mean, is
It's
winning
very
this
important.
one?
We want to win. We want to win. I mean, that's what that's why kids come to LSU. They want to win, and they want to compete in one of the most upbeat, positive, competitive environments there is in the country. And it's right here in the PMAC, and we want our kids to get caught up in that and have that burning desire to win. But there's parity. I mean, there's good teams out there, and this is what we've strived for. We've talked about this I have for 42 years in sport of gymnastics. We want a lot of teams to be good, and it's what's happening. Any team can win on any given night.
And Florida's good. They're always good.
Florida's always good.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You guys, I'm assuming the girls are very excited to get back home with the fans,
Yeah.
as opposed to being on the road with some rowdy student sections.
They weren't, they weren't that bad. They're just very close. It's almost too close for comfort, but they weren't bad. They were very polite, very courteous, and laughed with us, and they're good kids. I asked a couple of them, I said, when are y'all going to graduate? I'm so tired of seeing you. You need to graduate. And, they laughed.
Yeah.